This is the thing that people need to get about social media is it's really just rewarding the things that tend to keep people back addictively. The business model is addiction in this race to the bottom of the brainstem for attention.
Social media does not really affect boys very much, but man, does it affect girls.
Why is that?
So if you look at, a couple of reasons. First, look at the nature of aggression within the sexes. Boys, bullying is physical. Okay, boys are physically dominating, and then the risk is that they're going to get punched. Okay, so you give everybody an iPhone. What do they do with it? Games and porn. They don't use it to hurt each other.
Boys, you're saying?
Boys, that's right. It doesn't affect their bullying. But girls' aggression, girls are actually as aggressive as boys. There's research from the 80s and 90s on this. If you include relational aggression, girls don't bully each other by threatening to punch each other in the face. Girls bully each other by damaging the other girl's social relationships.
Jessica, did you just fart?
Spreading rumors, spreading lies, spreading a doctored photograph, saying bad things, excluding them. It's relational aggression. And so it's always been really hard to be a middle school student. It's always been harder to be a middle school girl than a middle school boy, okay? So beginning around 2010, 2011, we throw in this brand new thing into the mix. Okay, girls, here's this beautiful thing in your hand, and here's all these programs where you can damage anyone's social relationships any time of the day or night with deniability from an anonymous account. Go at it, girls. And so the nature of girls' bullying is hypercharged by social media and smartphones. That's one mechanism. The other two mechanisms are the social comparison, because it's always been hard to be a teen girl emerging with beauty standards and impossible beauty standards. And when we were kids, you had impossible beauty standards that these models were all doctored up and then Photoshop. Okay, so you've got these impossible beauty standards out there. But beginning with social media, especially in recent years, your own friends can put on a filter on Instagram to make their lips bigger, their skin cleaner, their eyes bigger. So your own friends are more beautiful than they are in real life. You feel uglier. So that's the social comparison of beauty. And then probably the biggest single one is the fear of missing out, the fear of being left out. So all kids are subject to this. Everyone's concerned about whether they're included or whether they're excluded. But girls are much more sensitive. And so suddenly when everybody is tracking each other's who was invited, who's there, and especially any program in which a girl puts something out and then waits to see what other people say about it, that is what's really damaging, I think. Again, let me stress, we don't know for sure. There are some experiments on this, but it's mostly correlational stuff we're talking about here, correlational data. But the overall experience of being a girl who was born in 1995 or later and got this stuff in middle school is different from being a girl born in 1990, let's say, where you didn't get this stuff till college.
Are you concerned that this is a trend that as technology becomes more and more invasive, and with these new technologies as they emerge, that this is going to be worse?
Yes.
And worse? Yeah.
Yes. But it doesn't have to be. So I think in the last 2 years, we're really waking up to this. The founders of this technology, it's really interesting. So first of all, it's important to note, as many people have read, a lot of the creators of this technology do not let their kids have it.
We're never bored anymore. So as we evolved, boredom is this evolutionary discomfort that basically told us whatever you're spending your time on right now, it's not an efficient use of your time. So go find something else. Now in the past, this would be like, let's say you're picking berries from a bush. You've picked the easiest to pick ones. Well, if we didn't have this cue of boredom, we'd be like reaching into the very back for the berries that are hard to pick, but they become successively harder to pick because we've picked all these different ones, right? Boredom would kick on and be like, hey, your return on your time invested has worn thin. Move on to another bush, right? But nowadays, with this influx of media we have, people spend 11 hours a day engaging with digital media.
Is that real?
Yeah, 11, and that's the average. So
what?
You want to hear an even crazier thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a professor at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and one of the classes I teach is an intro class. So it's got about 150 students, and it's a media class I teach in the journalism department. First day of class, I'll talk about how things have changed with media. You know, it's like we lived 2.5 million years with no media in our lives, and now it's become our lives. And then I will ask, all right, I want everyone to pull out your phone right now. I want you to look at your screen time. Tell me how much you have. Who thinks they have the highest? We'll start to go through people. I've had people 7 hours, 45 minutes, 8 hours, 50 minutes, 9 hours, 16 minutes. It's like, that's your entire day, all on that cell phone, right? So nowadays, when we have this discomfort of boredom kick in, we have a super easy escape from it, right? We're not forced to be like, okay, what am I doing with my time? Is there something better I could be doing? We just pull out our phone. And you see this, right? Anytime people have one moment of solitude or inactivity, it's like, oh, might as well just check my phone.
It's brutal when you see people on dates. They're not even talking to each other. They're just looking at each other's phones.
Yeah.
Wow.
People at dinner. It's like,
yeah. It's like you're in front of an actual person.
Yeah.
And you prefer to communicate in digital with someone who's not even there.
Totally. And what's interesting about boredom is oftentimes when boredom would kick on, we would go inward, sort of mind wander. And mind wandering, it gives your brain some time to like reset and revive. Whereas anytime you're focused on the outside world, your brain is actively processing information. So this is kind of like in the book, I compare it to lifting a weight. When you're having a conversation, looking at your phone, watching a screen, whatever you're doing, if you're focusing on the outside world, your brain is working and it's lifting. When you go inward, your brain goes into this default mode network, which is like a rest period, right? So now, because every time we're bored, we just pull out that screen and focus more, our brains are just constantly being worked and overworked and overworked. And this is associated with just burnout, anxiety, etc.
The phone is the gift and the curse. You know, I think that we shot out the gate and saw the gift.
Here is a device which allows you to dial yourself.
Oh my God, it's community, it's connecting us. We're able to share, we're able to meet new people, we're able to stay in communication with old people, find new people. As an entertainer, I can engage with my fans, and this is so dope. And then after that, you get hit with the curse. And the curse is there's a high level of negativity that's out there that's on that shit. You know, there's a lot of people that are, you know, not happy or going through things, and they interject a certain amount of negativity and hatred through these devices. These devices are the easiest way to touch everybody. So when you're just consumed on that shit all day, you start to see yourself being a part of the negative shit. So what I've learned to do is go, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that shit. I don't pay that any mind. I don't read that shit for what? It's not helping me. It's not making me better. It's not pushing me to new limits. If anything, it's taking up just creative space by me literally spending time going and navigating through what I think is a bunch of bullshit. So I don't let the device beat me. And at one point, I definitely did. At one point, it was everything. It was, you know. Now I separated. I know.
How'd you break clear of it?
When you realize what it is, when you see the bad, you know, when you see the bad side of it. I thought the other day, this is some real shit, and it really made me think. My phone died. And I'm driving, and I was using the fucking maps. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck, how am I get to where, I don't know where I'm going. And I sat and I was like, yo, how did we get from point A to point B before the map shit? What were we doing? That I used to print out directions from Google Maps, I remember that. But then before that, how did you get to the places where you were going that you didn't know how to get to? I don't even remember. We don't even know how to do the common, the norm anymore, because the device has made everything available. And I literally had to drive to a store where I could buy a charger, charge up my phone to get back and use the map to get to where the fuck I was going, because I had no idea how to get there. I didn't know no numbers by heart. I didn't know who I was gonna call. What phone? Like, yo, this was the moment where I was like, what level of success have I reached? I just pulled over and I sat there and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get to where I'm going?
You should have a spare phone, man.
I don't know what it was.
You need a backup phone.
It felt like the end of the world. It felt like it felt like it was over. I was like, shit.
Isn't that crazy how dependent you are?
But that's when the light bulb started to click.
Yeah.
It started to click. Like, how did we function without? I want to go backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still there. I still need it. I still think it's dope with all of the things that we can do on it, but I still want to be able to put it down and step away from it. I want my kids to be able to step away from it. That's why when I come in the house, my phone is up. Cause I can't bitch and complain at y'all about being on your phone if you see me doing the same thing.
Right.
So that time, those conversations, me wanting to know about your day, you talking to me about your day, your friends, who you like, who don't you like. My daughter, you, what boy, who, what, huh? No. All right, God. My son, yeah, I like somebody. Who? Oh, Jesus, here it comes. It's a great thing. And I want to be able to have those moments. And, you know, I think it's big to make sure that you prioritize that.
Are you worried about what comes next?
100%. The fear is the next level of
immersion.
Intrusive. You know,
yeah.
I think everything has become intrusive now. Like, the toughest thing for me is that there is no privacy outside my home.
Right.
You know, the amount of money that you have to now spend just on security, on, you know, people to be with me, security to be on my home. You know, it's like there literally is no privacy. And it's not that I bitch and complain about it, because without the fans, without the people that support me, I wouldn't be where I am. But there's no middle ground.
Right.
You know, there is no handshakes anymore. It's how you doing?
Right.
And it's like, a handshake is so much better to get a moment. Like, we can talk if that's what you want. No, yo, say it now. It's kind of weird because you're doing this to me. It's kind of weird to have a conversation. So you're just starting to see yourself become a little older and wiser, and just really see the times for what they are, and see the direction that we're going in as people, and just hope and pray that we find a middle ground, because I think right now there isn't one.